It is I, Star-Lord, legendary outlaw and Lord of the Stars. Not really, it's actually me, MunchingOrange. What's up, guys, and welcome to the 450,000 question and answer subscriber special. I don't know what a question is, or however I just said that word. But welcome, everyone, and I wanted to start off by just thanking you all so very much for once again allowing us, this channel, to hit that big milestone. We're now almost at 460,000, so we're definitely still growing very fast, and it's just very overwhelming and amazing to experience this. And I wanted to thank you all so very much for all of this. And as I said, this is going to be my question and answer video to answer some of you guys' questions that you left back at the previous video. I'm actually not going to answer all 4,000 of them. That's right. There were, I think, a little over 4,000 comments left. Not all of them were questions, of course, but a lot of them were. And I've gone ahead and picked about 50 of the most, in my opinion, the most interesting questions, as well as there were a bunch of repeats, so really there were a lot less than that. But yeah, I went ahead and picked all of the most interesting ones in my opinion, which will make for what I think is going to be the most well-rounded out video. There's going to be YouTube questions, Pokemon questions, life questions, and other random questions. And yeah, anyway, I'm going to take off the hat for this because we got to have the onion hair, which is actually kind of going to be one of the questions. I can't really get it to go right now, so we'll just go with this. My hair, as you can see, is very moldable. You can kind of just, you know, pull it a little bit here, pull a little bit there, and it kind of just sticks the way you want it to. That's a little bit weird. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started on this. Again, thank you all so very much for all the questions. Like I said, I wish I could have all the time in the world to answer all 4,000 of these, but I've gone ahead and chosen the ones that I thought were the most interesting ones, as well as a bunch of the ones that were repeats. If it was a repeat question, odds are it's going to be answered in this two-part video series. So let's go ahead and get started. Question number 1 comes from Yow Pow Nation. Did you purposefully make that last video 420? And the answer is yes. Blaze it. So you can tell this is already going to be great with that first question, but for reals though, these are going to be the YouTube questions to start us off with. In this category, I kind of put all questions relating to my channel, my name of my channel, my icon, videos that I plan to make, future series and stuff like that, and past series. So yeah, anything to do with my YouTube channel is going to be here. So let's start off with, from Caden George, why did you start YouTube? And this was one that, like I said, there's a lot of repeated questions, and it's a question that I get a lot of times, not just on this video actually, is how I came to be. And the question exactly is, why did I start? But I'll just go ahead and answer like why I started, as well as how I got started and all that, which part of it was in my Draw My Life, but really I started YouTube way back in 2009. Basically, gaming videos on YouTube were not the hugest deal. The biggest channels that I can remember way back in the day were maybe around 10,000 subscribers, so yeah, that back then was considered a very big channel for gaming, at least. I think Smosh even was the #1 channel, and they maybe only had like, what, 100 and something thousand subscribers. So really YouTube was a much smaller community, really. And back then I started watching playthrough videos from a guy named Spirit of Steel, which you guys may have heard of. That was basically my inspiration for YouTube. And nowadays he doesn't really make videos anymore. He actually hasn't made videos for about 2 years, but I do still talk to the guy, so it's definitely awesome that he's still around. Maybe not on YouTube, but I still at least talk to him every once in a while. But anyway, he was doing a playthrough of this game called Pokemon, I think Shiny Gold at the time, and then my very first playthrough, my first video, gaming video at least, uploaded on this channel was for Pokemon Region Adventures, which was another Pokemon ROM hack. That was basically what I was interested when I first started. And like I said, the community was really small, so I basically started off by doing that playthrough alongside him. Well, not really alongside him, but he was doing the same playthrough. And really, you couldn't even make money off of gaming videos from YouTube. I don't even think they had partnerships in general back when I started, but maybe a couple of years after that is when they actually started, and definitely at least like a year and a half or something after I started making videos was when they started giving partnerships to gaming channels, and you could start considering it more of a job, really, or at least make money from it. So anyway, that's pretty much how I got started, and a lot of people ask me any tips as to when, like, they're starting up their channels now, and they ask me for tips as to how to grow. And really what I can mention is that my channel kind of exploded when Pokemon Black and White came out, and I started doing my playthrough of that game, and really that's the one that I would say like gave me the boost basically to become the channel that it is now, or at least as big as the channel is now. For some reason I keep like saying my words weird or like with a Spanish accent. I don't know, maybe it's coming back. But anyway, Black and White, my first part of that has like 2 million views, 2.5 million, something crazy like that, and all the rest of the parts have a lot of views as well. So that was, I would say, my first little boost. And then obviously when Pokemon X and Y came out, which is where a lot of you guys are from what I see in the comments when you started watching, Pokemon X and Y came out, I did my playthrough of that game as well. And part 1 of that is about to hit 1 million, which is really, really crazy in just like maybe, what, 7-8 months? And as well as the Mega Evolutions videos, the Mega Stones videos, all of those are over 1 million. But anyway, as far as tips for those of you starting off, a lot of people ask me this as well, is how they can grow their own channel, because a lot of you guys definitely want to start up your own. And like I said, when I started off, it was way different, it was way smaller, and really, I didn't really grow until later on. And I would say it was half luck, half dedication. So really part of it is getting lucky, but if you definitely dedicate yourself as well as collaborate, because in my opinion, at least nowadays, you can't really make it without collaborating, and definitely collaboration I would say is a big part of it, and dedication to it. I was definitely daily uploading at least 2 videos every day actually back in the day. Now I've definitely gotten a lot lazier with it, but hey, at least last month I tried to do a daily videos, and I think it worked out. I don't know, maybe some videos I skipped, but yeah, dedication. Part of it was definitely luck, but I would say with a lot of dedication, you can get pretty far. Like, I've seen Shady Penguin definitely is very dedicated, and I think that's part of why he's grown so fast over time. So, I mean, if you want to take it as an example of a newer channel, I guess, becoming big nowadays, I would look at that really, but like I said, I've been around for so long. Same thing with, I think, Shofu, he's been around for a really long time, just to give examples of other Pokemon channels here. I mean, I don't know. It's very different nowadays than it was back when I started in other channels. Anyway, that's going to be my little segment on, I guess, how I got started and how you can get started. I know I couldn't give exactly the most info, but that's because really things are very different now than when my channel started really growing. But nowadays, I would say really it's just a lot of my videos already have that base audience to boost them, and they kind of just get a lot of views over time. Like my X and Y playthrough right now is getting really big, so I would say that's mainly where my channel is growing from. So I'm going to move on to the next question. We've got a lot more to cover in this video. This will probably be a pretty long video now that I'm thinking about it, but Aiden Fuller asked how I came up with my YouTube username, and of course that is MunchingOrange. A lot of people ask me, what is MunchingOrange? Is it an orange with a mouth that is munching, or is it like you're munching an orange? I don't know. The honest truth is that my username came from the cartoon show Chowder, which I don't know if it's on air anymore really, but it was a cartoon that I watched back when I started my channel. I didn't really watch it that much, honestly, but I did watch an episode that happened to be on TV when I was creating my channel. I did not know what to come up with for a username. My username before this channel was freaking Pokemon and Pie or something like that. And before them it was just my name, which is Ariel, which is going to be in the life questions because a lot of people ask me what my name is. But anyway, yeah. The show Chowder was on. There were these little fruits with mouths on screen, and they were actually peaches. I think they're called the munching mincies or peaches, something like that. I don't know. They were peaches with mouths. I thought they were oranges, so I said, huh, MunchingOrange. That sounds great and catchy. I mean, I guess it turned out to be. I don't think that the YouTube username really matters that much as, you know, obviously what's on the channel, but it definitely caught on, and I really like the name at least. So, you know, one thing is definitely being happy with your username, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with the username, but that is the origin of it. So now you know it is actually an orange with a mouth that munches, not, you know, like I munch oranges, but it is for the fruit, it's not for the color, if that answers anything. From Jared McKenzie, we have, how do you earn money from doing your videos? And what is my job? And like I said earlier, this is actually my job, but I mean, it really just comes down to being partnered on YouTube as far as making money from it. If you get into a gaming network of some sort like I am, I've been with Polaris for about like, what, 2 years now? I started off on a smaller channel though, or network, but I moved on to Polaris, and yeah, basically your videos will have ads at the beginning of them. If you ever watch my videos and you don't have ad block on, or you watch them on your phone or whatever, you will notice ads at the beginnings of the videos, and sometimes in the middle, sometimes at the end. I don't know where YouTube likes to put them, but yeah. that's basically how you make money from it. And obviously, the more views your videos gets, the bigger your channel is, the more you will receive from those. So yeah, ads are definitely, I can't get my trail of thought right, but basically how much you get paid is very heavily dependent on how many views your videos gets. And that's why it has become my job, because my channel has definitely been growing over time. And back when I started, I was still in high school, but thankfully by the time I was done with high school, I took a kind of a risk, and I told my mom I really want to focus on this. I think I can do a lot with it. And thankfully, after maybe a half a year after I finished high school, I started making money enough to basically sustain myself and live off of it. So yeah, this has definitely become my job, and I make my living off of making these videos now. Now this question is one that a lot of people ask me, and I'm just gonna summarize it to, will I ever bring back X series? X being anything from Minecraft to Zelda, which at one point I did. It's kind of crazy to think I did a Zelda game, but that was back when my stuff was stolen when I was living in Puerto Rico, and I never finished that. But yeah, to the question, will I ever bring back X series, any of those series that you might think of that I have not finished in the past? If it's been, I would say, over 2 months and you haven't seen an episode of it, odds are that that series is not going to come back. And I'm sorry to those of you that were fans of X series in the past, but yeah, it's probably not going to be finished. To address specifically the white Nuzlocke though, the Volt White Nuzlocke, that one was a Nuzlocke, which I explained. If you lose all your Pokemon, you lose the challenge. And a lot of people told me to bring it back as an all-star challenge like I did for Sacred Gold. But the truth with that one is I only made it to the second gym. Yeah, barely past the second gym. So literally there were like maybe 8 Pokemon that I caught. So bringing it back as an all-star would just be like a regular playthrough with just like barely any Pokemon. So I don't know, I thought that that one should just end there, and I'll definitely revisit it at some time in the future when I'm better at Nuzlocks. But yeah, and I have another note here. Will I do X series? That's another question that a lot of people ask me is, will I do this game? And if it's a game that really you don't think that you would see on this channel, like, I mean, there are a lot of Pokemon hacks, to be fair, that I do want to do in the future, and a lot of people ask me. But if it's some random game that isn't Pokemon or is some kind of obscure game, probably am not going to do it. The only games that I do plan on doing other than Pokemon, though, which I've mentioned a few times, are childhood favorites that I definitely think I would want to do, just because they're really some of my favorite games, and I want them to be here on the channel and kind of be kept here forever so that I can look back at them in the future and be like, man, that was a good game. And yeah, that's kind of like my Ratchet & Clank 1 playthrough, which is actually my favorite game of all time. Well, Ratchet & Clank 3 to be specific, but it's my favorite series, and I look back at that Let's Play sometimes and I'm like, yeah, this is here forever. Also, a few people asked me, have I ever, or will I ever do this Pokemon game? The chances are that if it is a main series Pokemon game, I have already done a playthrough of it on this channel, because a lot of people don't look at my past videos. I have like 1,500 videos uploaded on this channel, so whether it be Pokemon Platinum, Pokemon Emerald, another Pokemon game, I don't know, if it's a main series game, I've probably already done a playthrough of it. Emerald, technically I didn't do a regular one, I did an All-Stars playthrough back in the day, which is actually pretty interesting because it was Pokemon from other YouTubers that were big back then, but nowadays you would look at it and probably think, who are these people? But yeah, like I said, the community was very different, and yeah, most likely if it's a Pokemon game, I've already done it, so I would suggest go look through my old playlist. You will find all of my playthroughs that I've done there. So be sure to check that out before you ask if I will do a playthrough of X game, especially Pokemon. This next question is actually really cool. It comes from Invisible Deoxys, and it is, what is one of my favorite YouTubers except for myself? The question specifically asked for Pokemon YouTubers, but the sad thing is I don't really watch Pokemon videos on YouTube. Like, I barely watch my own videos just because I have to edit them, but yeah, I just don't really watch a lot of Pokemon contests. I definitely used to be a lot more into it a couple of years back when I was starting. I was really into watching other videos, but now I definitely like to focus on my own videos. And as far as watching other YouTubers though, lately I wanted to mention I've been watching a lot of this guy named Emergency Awesome. I always really like Vsauce. It's just they're kind of very informative videos, and I really like just learning, I guess, just random facts and things. And yeah, those two guys, Vsauce specifically does just random facts and things that I really enjoy watching. And like I said, Emergency Awesome is one that I picked up on recently because he does reviews of most of the shows that I'm watching or watch, like Game of Thrones, Legend of Korra, Walking Dead, definitely Marvel movies like you saw earlier. I really like Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's been doing videos for those. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been watching recently. And sorry that I didn't answer like what my favorite Pokemon YouTubers are, but really I just don't watch that many of them, or if any at all really. But sort of tying into that though is how I met X person, which can be defined as how did I meet X YouTuber, like the friends that I have now, such as Sully and Zelda Master, which of course I live with. He's actually over there in his room doing whatever he does. But yeah, to answer that, most of the people that are my friends now that you know, or well, that have been on my channel or things like that, I don't know how to word this, but basically the people that have been known to be like my group of YouTube friends, most of them I actually met through Purple Rodri, because way back in the day, I don't know how long ago, maybe like 2 years ago, he invited me to be in this thing that we were doing called the Let's Play Hunger Games, which is actually a Minecraft thing. I know I haven't been playing too much Minecraft recently, and it's just really, I don't find Minecraft too fun recently, at least. I just haven't really been into the game, which is why you see a lack of kind of Pixelmon and all of that. It's just really, I'm not having too much fun with the game. But yeah, back then, 2 years ago, we did this thing called the Let's Play Hunger Games, or rather Rodri organized it and got a bunch of Let's Players. We played the Hunger Games, or survival games I think it's called now. And yeah, that's basically where I met most of them, and it turns out that, or well, I guess I didn't know it back then, but they ended up being my closest friends and a lot of the people that I would eventually move near, because Sully lives near now, and Chris from Greg to Pray, he was even in that. So yeah, most of those guys were actually in that event, and I ended up talking to them a lot. Went to PAX with them, PAX Prime 2 years ago. It's crazy to think that in August now, it's already going to be 2 years since that first PAX where I met them. But yeah, that's where I met most of them. As far as other YouTubers, usually I'll meet them during conventions like PAX, which, by the way, that's coming up at the end of August, and I will be there. And if you're going to be there, then I hope I can see you there, because I love meeting viewers, then just interacting with you guys and getting to see you guys in real life. So yeah, if you're going, definitely let me know or something on Twitter. But yeah, that's usually where I meet most other YouTubers, and my voice is dying. Anyway, moving on to the last few YouTube questions. There's actually still a lot, but I'm assuming this video is gonna be very long. Is, have I ever thought of quitting YouTube? Which comes from Coriante Green. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing any of these names, by the way, but have I ever thought of quitting YouTube is definitely a thought that I guess has kind of flown over my mind, but not really as far as quitting now, but rather when I would quit, or if I ever did, what would happen. And I definitely don't want to quit just because, like I said, this is my job, but it's also just a hobby. Making these videos is definitely fun, and as long as there's a lot of Pokemon games or any other games to play that I find fun, then there's really no reason I would ever quit this, because I really enjoy making videos, and I definitely enjoy reading you guys' comments and feedback and all that, and just the interaction of this community that we have here. So yeah, it's definitely not a thought that crosses my mind frequently, but I have thought about it before, like when this eventually all ends, like what would happen, and I'm just kind of thinking like that probably won't happen for a while, unless something happens with YouTube. Even if I can no longer have this as my job, I would definitely still keep making videos, just because, like I said, it's very fun. If it ever would be the time when I would quit, which I don't think will happen for a very long time, I don't really know what I would do. I'd probably go back to school, do that, because I kind of went to school but kind of didn't. I really just tried it out and signed up and all that, but I never actually went. So I would definitely do that. It just seems like something that I should do at some point. But yeah, lately I've just been really focusing on YouTube, so I think that would definitely draw time away from it. And like I said, this is my job right now, so I've been saving up so that eventually that's kind of my plan B. If YouTube, something happens with it, I will definitely save up and be able to go to school. And yeah, as far as school goes though, I never really think about what I would want to study, but I don't really like to think about it much. So if that ever does happen, then I'll definitely put more thought into it. Krister99 asked how many subscribers I think I can get, and like you guys can see, this is the 450,000 special, which is really crazy. It's kind of a number that I guess if you asked me like 2 years ago when I was maybe, I don't know how much I was even at, but yeah, I would have told you that you are crazy back when I started, because no one even had that amount of subscribers, period. So to think that, you know, that would be kind of a normal thing for big channels to hit that 500,000 or almost 500,000 for myself is just crazy. And as far as how many I think I can get, well, I don't really know a number for sure, but I definitely think that with enough dedication, and if I stopped being so lazy and did more top 10 videos and random fact videos like that, those really help out for growth with channels. Just things that people will be interested and definitely search up. then I don't know, the sky is the limit, really. I mean, you've seen people like Jay Witz who have hit over 1 million subscribers now, so really I would say somewhere around that is my goal for now, but just gotta stop being lazy, make more of those top 10s and variety videos, as well as keep the daily uploads. In my opinion, I think that's the way to go. But yeah, I'd say that's my goal for now, is definitely, well, the 500,000 is so close by that, like, I'm sure that that will be reached eventually, so I don't know. Ultimate23 Dragon asks what the origin of the character we see in my avatar is, and that is actually my vision of what I wish I would look like if I was a Pokemon trainer. So if I was to exist in the Pokemon universe, that's what I think I would look like, even though I don't really look like that at all. I have more of an onion hair, which there's a chibi version of myself floating around somewhere on the internet, which looks a little bit more like me in my opinion. But yeah, I definitely need to keep losing a few pounds. I've been kind of working on that. I've been lazy with that as well, but maybe I will cosplay that character at some point. But yeah, that's kind of a character that I made up based on other Pokemon characters, obviously, and trainers. And then an artist called Perdemonium actually brought it to life and made it my icon, and that's kind of just been my icon for almost a year now. So yeah, I will link the artwork of that in the description so you guys can check out his other artwork, because he does artwork now for a lot of other YouTubers that you might know. So yeah, that's why you might see a lot of icons have sort of the same artwork. But yeah, I commissioned that a long time ago. I don't remember. I drew up a sketch and I commissioned that, and a lot of people actually use his artwork now, which is really good for him, because I think his art style at least is really awesome. So that's kind of where that came from. So yeah, it's just basically me if I was to be in the Pokemon world as a trainer. Now we're almost done with the YouTube questions here. Still got a few though. Bradley Henry starts us off with what program I use to edit videos. And I'll just go with this one as far as all of my equipment, because I get this way too often. It's how I record my videos, my 3DS gameplay and all that. First off, I don't use a 3DS emulator. I don't think that even exists. A lot of people ask me that. There's actually a 3DS capture card, which basically you have to either send in your 3DS to have it modded, or just buy one already modded and get it sent to you, which will have a little USB you can connect to your computer, and it projects the 3DS screen onto your computer, and then you can record your screen. What I mostly use is a program called Fraps, F-R-A-P-S, if I can spell. But yeah, that's what I mostly use, as well as Audacity or WavePad. Either one of those works for audio recording. And yeah, just any microphone, any condenser microphone, I would say is good quality. But if you can't afford one of those or are just starting off, then really audio quality to start off with is not that big a deal. But definitely if you're planning on going bigger, you will need to eventually get like a condenser microphone, I would say. But yeah, as far as what I use, that's the programs that I record with. In editing videos specifically, I've always used Sony Vegas, or well, I guess at first I used Camtasia, but I think the standard for a lot of YouTubers is actually Sony Vegas. That's just become like what almost everyone uses. So if you ask anyone out there, they'll probably say that they're using Sony Vegas, Audacity, Fraps, or Camtasia. Those are, I would say, the quadfecta of YouTube gaming video editors, I guess. I don't know. And almost done here, Sir Ampharos asks if my YouTube account got deleted, along with every video on it, what I would do. And this is something that I actually wanted to answer because I thought it was really interesting, and it kind of ties in with the whole, if I ever quit YouTube, what would happen? And I think it would go kind of along the same path. However, if my account was deleted, like right at this instant, it would be a little different, because it would just kind of be a shock at first. It's like, alright, all of this hard work is gone. Where is it? What do I do? And really, I guess my first reaction would be to try to calm myself and think, and after that I would probably open up a new channel, because I think obviously if my channel got deleted, the people would still be there. It would just be a matter of how I would get all of you guys back. Obviously Twitter would be the first thing I would think of, because a lot of you are there, so I would definitely open up a new channel and try to gain back as many as you as I could that were active as far as when the channel got deleted. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't give up on it. I would still try and continue to make videos. It would definitely be hard though to start back up from the bottom, but I would hope that most of you that are active right now would come back, and yeah, I guess that would be it. But really, I do have that plan B, I guess, which is I've been saving up for school, so if something ever were to happen, I'd probably go back to that. But yeah, I thought that was a cool question, because it would just be like, that's gone. My job and my main hobby is gone. But I definitely would come back and do it. Like I said, even if that goes down and you can no longer have it as your job to make gaming videos, it would still continue as a hobby. As long as you can upload videos, I will definitely keep uploading. And the last few YouTube related questions, which I'm thinking now this should just kind of be its own video because it's probably pretty long, comes from Justin Bacon 100. Do I have any merchandise such as shirts or specifically Mr. Egg dolls? I don't know. Plushies, I was thinking more like, I was gonna say plushies, but it actually says dolls on the question. But the thing is, I used to have a spread shirt somewhere, I don't know where it's gone, with just one shirt on it, and I've definitely been thinking about opening up more merchandise, so I wanted to leave off this video by asking you guys a question, and it's if you would like to see merchandise. And I've never really, I guess I had some at some point, but I didn't really ever advertise it, so I never ended up selling that many shirts. But if you would like to see some, let me know in the comments as far as what kind of stuff you would like to see. Like Mr. Justin Bacon says, Mr. Egg dolls. I don't know if that would really be possible, but it would definitely be a cool thing. I don't know, I would have to like find someone to work on stitching little plushies, and yeah, they would have to probably be handmade, so I don't know about those, but definitely as far as shirts goes, if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments, not only that you're interested, but what kind of shirts really, because I don't really have a lot of ideas. One time I thought, you know, I should have some shirts, and I just kind of threw a character on a little badge, and that was my shirt for a little bit. And like I said, I never advertised those, so if you are interested, I could make some shirts. I just don't really have a lot of ideas, so let me know. And that ties into the last question, which is from Tuber Awesome, and it is if I will be accepting fan mail or fan art ever. And it's another thing that, like I said, I've definitely thought about for forever. So again, if enough people are interested, I will try and maybe get like a P.O. box for a few months. And if you guys really do have fan art or fan mail, I've never really thought of it, but yeah, I would definitely be open to accepting those and making videos because, like I said, I really enjoy meeting you guys whenever I go to conventions and stuff like that. And yeah, 1 or 2 times I've actually received like art or fan art, or, well, one time I just got a candy bar from a person, so I don't know, it was still cool, and yeah, I would definitely be open to that if enough people are interested. So let me know in the comments those 2 things. I have let my paper slip away, so I guess this will be also a 2-part sort of video. This has been the YouTube questions, so look out for the Pokemon questions later on, and then probably tomorrow I'll upload the final part, which will be life and random questions, which I'll try to speed more through because this one has definitely taken a while. But yeah, hopefully it answered most of you guys' questions. I know a lot of them were repeats. I didn't answer all of them, but I tried to pick out most of the ones to make a well-rounded video for those of you looking to see how I started and how you can start, and all of the other questions about YouTube. So yeah, thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and like I said, stay tuned for part 2, which will be the Pokemon questions coming your way later today as I burp my way into, I don't know, I can't figure out what to say. There we go. Star-Lord out.